Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Fadia Nurhidayati, and today I would like to explain the material that is providing feedback. But before we start, anyone know what is providing feedback? Yeah, providing feedback is giving any response regarding a student's performance or behavior towards learning goals and outcomes. It can be study skills, attitude, although it can also concern speaking, reading, writing, or listening. So, what is the purpose of providing feedback? The purpose of providing feedback is help teachers to check the current status of their students' language ability, through which they can know what the students know and what the students do not know. It also gives chance to students to participate in modifying or replanning the upcoming classes. The importance of feedback in the assessment and learning process is to improve the students' performance, not put a damper on it. It is essential that the process of providing feedback is a positive or at least a neutral learning experience for the student. Negative feedback can discourage student effort, and the teacher have the distinct responsibility to nurture a student's learning and to provide feedback in such a manner that the student doesn't leave the classroom feeling defeated. Giving appropriate feedback promotes student ownership and boosts confidence, as learners can identify those areas of needed improvement. Without prompt feedback, learners are disconnected from the task and not motivated to improve. So, effective feedback assists the learner to reflect on their learning strategies so they can adjustments to make better progress in their learning. Types of feedback. The first one is formative feedback. Formative feedback is designed to assess learners' progress toward learning targets during the learning process. Formative feedback is ongoing feedback to improve language skills. So, formative feedback is focused on teacher-provided or teacher-guided, consistent, timely, specific, relevant to learning targets based on a learner's current level of proficiency, descriptive, and provided in student-friendly language. The second one is summative feedback. Summative feedback provides an assessment of student performance at the end of a learning cycle. For example, like unit, semester, program, and summative feedback is feedback on an assessment. Summative feedback is focused on teacher-provided and teacher-guided, given at the end of a learning sequence, measurement of learners' current language performance, and evaluative. The last one is reflective feedback. Reflective feedback invites learners to play an effective role in self-evaluation of their performance. This self-assessment provides learners the opportunity to make the change necessary to improve their language performance. So, reflective feedback is self-assessment. Reflective feedback is focused on teacher-designed but learner-driven. Opportunities occur at the beginning of, during, and after a learning sequence. Develops learner awareness of language skills and current level of performance. and learner written reflection of a specific performance. So, how to providing feedback? The first one is start with a clear goal. If students know where they are headed from the start, they will more easily be able to check back in during the process to make sure they are on track. A clear, concise learning objective also serves as a reference point for you as you offer students feedback. If you are not sure where students' destination is, how can you be sure that they are going the right way? Next, feedback should be educative. Try to refrain from giving your learner fake feedback. You should explain what they are doing correctly, as well as what they are doing incorrectly. It's also a good idea to provide an examples as to what is accurate and inaccurate about their work. Next, feedback in a timely manner. When you are giving your learner feedback, try and do this as soon as you can after they have carried out a task. If you wait too long, the moment is lost and your learner may not understand what you are referencing to. Next, give genuine praise. If you are constantly telling your learner that they are doing a good job, it becomes meaningless over time. Try to only praise them when they are going above and beyond, as this will also help to motivate them to try harder. Acknowledging the efforts of your learner will really help to positively influence them and carry out their assessments to a higher standard. Next, provide constructive feedback, as well as highlighting what they did well and what they need to work on. Feedback should set out ways in which your learner can improve. This will encourage your learner to think critically about their work, allowing them to reflect on what they need to do to improve it. Constructive feedback will also help them see their learning in a different light, which could really help to motivate them. Next, support your learner. One of the main purposes of feedback is to improve your learner's performance. By giving them feedback, you are helping to identify their strengths and weaknesses, which will help to build their confidence. Provide them with the tools they need in order to improve. Next, praise their efforts, not their talents. It's tempting to tell our students just how smart and talented we think they are, but this type of praise may actually have a negative effect in the long run. To help students develop a growth mindset, we should praise growth-oriented behaviors like hard work instead of seemingly fixed qualities like talent or intelligence. Try using praise like, "I'm so proud of all the effort you put into this," or "all your hard work really paid off." And the last one is allow time for questions and discussion. Offering students a chance to ask questions about feedback, we can give them an opportunity to understand with greater depth. Discussing their feedback, either with the teacher or a group of peers, can also be a great way to help students consider their feedback beyond the surface level. The example of providing feedback. For example, in class, learning about assessment skills. The teacher explains the material, then the teacher asks students to explain the material in front of the class and their friends. The right explanation will reveal that the listener is happy because they understand the explanation. But if the explanation is wrong, the listener will show an unhappy expression and even complain to the teacher. This type of feedback is considered more effective because it can help students focus on important things such as the impact or consequences of their actions. So they don't just answer correctly or wrongly. So good feedback can be structured according to needs, and if it is used optimally on learning materials both in class or online class, it might increase the effectiveness of the learning process. So feedback is an action in the form of a response given by the listener to the speaker when the speaker conveys his intention. This response can be in the form of writing, speech, expressions, or symbols. So I think that's enough. Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.